For Mireia? Yeah. At the moment, Mireia is very focused on her rehabilitation. She has multiple tears in her shoulder from years of being a very successful swimmer. And at the moment, our goal is to try to keep her interested in the sport. It's very tough when you're injured to stay motivated, you know. I think right now you have one of Spain's biggest stars, Rafa Nadal, is about to take 5 months off to rehabilitate from an injury, and to do this for such a long period of time is very, very difficult. So our main role at the moment is to support Mireia, to give her the help on the physiotherapy, on the medical, on the doctors that will try to fix her shoulder as quickly as possible, or hopefully possibly. And in the pool to provide enough variety that she continues to train, continues to stay in shape, so that if and when her shoulder is ready to do what her brain wants it to do, then hopefully she's ready to get back to being in great shape as quickly as possible. We're very strong, very, very strong mentality. I know that the people in Spain will see her and appreciate her for what she has done in terms of winning medals and world records and these sorts of things. But Mireia now is, you know, how old is she? 31, something like this, 32. This is very rare in swimming by itself. Then you add in the injury, this is very rare. Then you add in the fact that she cannot train properly, and she just has to come in and work hard and not have the opportunity to compete or to show how she is progressing or to do something she loves to do, which is to race, is to race. She can't do those things, so she can only focus on what she can control, and that's the rehabilitation. And for me, I think this is a very, very strong, independent, successful woman who is staying strong. Very easy to be strong when you're winning medals, when you're breaking records, when you're doing those things. A lot more difficult to stay strong and to stay involved in the sport and continue to push when every day is a challenge and every day you don't see a progress because, there is things stopping you doing what you want to do. So Mireia Belmonte for me is a very, very impressive young woman, and I think that this perseverance and this strength is easily as impressive as anything she's ever done in the pool with her medal-winning performances. I think here in Spain there is a lot more competition for young athletes in terms of water polo is a very successful sport, and they train great. I love all the sport. I really love water polo. I've been lucky enough to watch an Olympic final in water polo, and was maybe one of my favorite experiences at an Olympic Games. But a lot of the talent in the water at a young age goes more towards water polo than it does to swimming in the boys' side, and I think the girls' side too. Synchronized swimming here is bigger than in Canada, so these athletes also gravitate towards another aquatic sport. Diving, not so much. There's not, swimmers we want to be tall, divers they want to be small. It's two different things. But so that's a little bit of a challenge, but you have lots of swim clubs, you have lots of swim teams, you have lots of coaches. I think that you have a history of training here in Spain, more so than teaching and coaching people to be better. So your history is more skewed towards maybe longer distance events, or now we have some very good open water and distance swimmers here in Spain, I think, who are really getting coached really, really well. But it means you maybe don't have as many swimmers who swim fast. An example would be at the trials in Palma this past April. The group from San Cugat had the first, the second, and the third placed women in the women's 200 freestyle. But the reality is that none of them would have made the top 8 in Canada. So in Spain, they think it's fast. Somewhere else, given time to understand what is really fast, they would not. In Spain, they think they're young. In another place, they would not be seen as young. Young Summer McIntosh, who I coached for a few years, is the world record holder at 15 or 16 years of age. 19 is not young. So there's the challenges a little bit, that you have the athletes. I think you have a lot of coaches, you have a lot of clubs, but people maybe need to focus on trying to be faster. The athletes need to understand what is faster and what high expectations mean. Interesting chatting to Arturo there, the diving coach, that the standards or the expectations of what the athletes have in general in diving in Spain is again more along your mañana type mentality. Diving is a sport which has to be very precise, because if you're not, it's going to hurt probably. So start young, be specific, have a goal of being the best in the world, and you have to stick to it. And I think that's something which, being here today and being around these great coaches and seeing they all have the same mentality, that I think that in the sports like swimming and diving in particular, we need to get to those places as quick as possible. And that's not going to be comfortable for some people, for some coaches, for some athletes. Maybe they don't like or agree with how to do it, but something needs to change to be better. And so hopefully we can help the coaches and the athletes start to see a path for change.
We hope so.